Welcome back. You're watching Live from Paris on France 24. James Creedon is here because it is time for Media Watch. We're taking a look at all the headlines and the blogs in France.
Yes, indeed. Good evening, Laura. I feel very far away from you this evening. Usually
you are quite far away. Come closer.
I can still see you, though. Binoculars.
Good stuff. Now, prosecutors here in France are calling for Jacques Chirac's trial, the former president, of course, to be thrown out of court before it even gets started.
That's right. So a lot of the media in France has been talking about this today. This is a trial that is dealing with bogus jobs that he allegedly set up when he was mayor of Paris back in the 80s and early 90s. And there were all of these jobs that were allegedly set up that didn't exist. It was kind of jobs for the boys. It was a means of getting money from, I suppose, the public administration back to his political party. Jobs such as a chauffeur for a trade union leader, or for the grandson of Charles de Gaulle, Jean de Gaulle. He was made African relations, the African relations person for the Paris City Hall. What would a local authority need an African relations person for? A bit ridiculous. So in any case, prosecutors have asked for the case to be dropped, for Chirac to be acquitted. And if he had been found guilty, he could have faced up to 10 years in prison and 150,000 euros worth of a fine. So it was a big, big scandal. And now the prosecutors are saying, let's just drop all charges. So a lot of people...
There are worries about his mental health as well, aren't there?
That's right. A lot of people have been saying that, well, one of the reasons he didn't appear in person at this trial was that he had a sick note saying that he had memory problems. But bizarrely, this was just after the second volume of his memoirs had been published, a book that thick of memories. So I don't know, it all seems a little bit odd. Now, a lot of people online, including big legal people in France, are very critical of this. We can see here this tweet by the legal affairs correspondent at Le Monde saying that the prosecutors are basically doing the job of Chirac's defence team. And indeed, when they announced this, that they were going to ask for an acquittal, many people were saying, well, perhaps his defence lawyers should have a look at what they'd kind of put together. So people are saying that it points to a lack of independence in the judicial system in France, that really the prosecutors weren't doing their job.
All right, now another story doing the rounds, or not, as it seems, because the media has not been allowed to cover the dismantling of a Roma gypsy camp down in Marseille. Now, we know, of course, there's a lot of tensions with the Roma community here in France, but that's not what the media are upset about. They say, look, we want to film this. We want to see what's going on.
Now, let's have a look at this article in Libération. Marseille, 40-odd Roma kicked out, basically, of their camp, and the press kept away. Now, I suppose really what's very central for these kind of stories is the pictures, the video footage. That's what creates reaction. That's what creates a lot of, I suppose, the buzz online. And they're very emotive pictures. So indeed, the riot police kept the AFP news agency and a lot of photographers away from the scene of this incident yesterday. And a lot of people, including human rights advocates down south, are saying that this is a denial of democracy. I am horrified, said one, by this intervention and the fact that the press was forbidden from covering it. And I suppose a web page like that, I suppose it just shows the extent to which it's not very interesting, and pictures would have made the story an awful lot bigger. So a lot of people complaining about, I suppose, the press being kept away from that story yesterday. Absolutely.
All right, now moving on to something completely different. Scarlett Johanssoning, what is it?
All right, Scarlett Johanssoning. Now, last week, this is a photo, which we've censored a little bit here, which was released all over the internet. Basically, somebody hacked into her telephone and her smartphone, and this photo, amongst others, which were even worse actually, showing her in even worse states of nudity, was put all over the web. So you can see it here. Now, what people have been doing, since then the FBI is on the case, and apparently they know the identity of the person who's hacking her phone and other celebrities' phones. But look what people are doing online. You've already got a Scarlett Johanssoning hashtag, and you've got blogs like this, people basically taking photos of themselves in exactly the same pose. There's some, I could scroll down, but I'm almost afraid of what I'll come across as stuff that's a little bit, you know.
Have you checked these beforehand, James?
Kind of, perhaps I should have vetted them a little bit more carefully. But there's, you know, there's this dog showing his beam end, basically, which is a little bit more showable, can you say that? And cuddly toys. There was even a Barbie doll, and I seem to have
that's now
misplaced
Scarlett
that.
Johansson, when you take a picture of yourself showing your
showing your backside in the mirror, and then you put it online. So
you teach us very useful things here at France 24. Very quickly, an Italian TV moment.
All right, let's play it. Let's have a look.
Viral, as you say.
This is a TV commentator on Italian TV last week. Let's have a look at the pictures. basically...
I take it his team won.
Well, yes, this is on the Rai network in Italy. They don't have the rights for footage of Champions League football. Milan were playing Barcelona. Milan scored a goal. And because they can't show the pictures, I suppose it's all the more important to have very animated presenters or commentators. So this guy just basically went mental on air. His name is Pato, and that was last week during the Milan-Barcelona match, and it's now going viral online. French TV was showing it last night as well. So I think it's one of those moments that people just want to see again and again. And there's all sorts of other videos online of Pato too. Pato crying when a goal was scored against an Italian side. He's a very emotional presenter.
Quite an emotional person.
Yeah.
We try not to cry on air.
We try to be a little bit more
Podcast.
somber than that.
We do.
Yeah.
Sometimes we achieve it, sometimes we don't. All right, James Creedon, as always, a pleasure.
Thanks.
Thank you very
Thanks,
much
Laura.
indeed. And up next, we're going to find out what else is going on the internet with web news.
Campaigning for Troy Davis continues.